All right, we are back. Just Amanda and I again today because Carolyn is traveling home. She was like 6 hours ahead of us, and then she gets home and like it's gonna be like regular time, so she's like already supposed to be in bed or something. So she's like, I'm gonna go to sleep. So totally understandable.
Yeah, her time change is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's not gonna be fun. Like my friend when she came back from Japan, because she's back here in Fargo for like a travel nursing contract. Because they're like a whole like 16 hours ahead of us. So they're like the whole next day. So she came back and it's like half a day earlier than when she left. And then she was like, the first few nights, she's like, yeah, she's like, I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. She's like, wasn't even tired. I'm like, oh, that's going to be rough to change that. So
Oh,
those
yeah,
time changes,
they'll get you.
not fun. But we have a really good topic today, and it's something that comes up quite a bit and can apply to many different areas, not just bodybuilding itself, but just your whole life. So, Amanda thought of this last week, and I mean, we don't have a script or anything, so we're just going to kind of roll with it because why have a script? That's not very candid. So, we're just say whatever the fuck comes to mind, right?
Right?
Um,
Exactly.
so we were going to talk about basically like your inner circle of people, like who you allow around you, who you have in your life, who you look up to, like things like that, because it's really important to have those people. And I think both of us have had experiences and can attest to like when you have the wrong people in your circle or just like wanting to be liked by everybody, because that was a whole thing for me. Like I was left out a lot in high school, and so through my 20s, it's super crazy because I can see a shift from like 20s into my 30s. Like when I turned 30, things just like changed. I don't know why. It wasn't like anything crazy. It just was my mindset about it was less of like I need to have as many friends as possible and shifted to I just want to have good quality people that look out for me and want the best for me. And that meant I had to like let go of a lot of friendships, which was hard, but at the same time, like it was for the best. And that has helped a lot. So long story short, that does happen to people. So I think everyone too kind of feels alone in that, like that they're going through it, but I think that there's it's more common than you think, but people just don't talk about it. So we're going to talk about it today.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, I don't know. There are going to be people that will vehemently disagree with my view. And just so everybody knows, that's totally fine. Like different perspectives is good. Take from this what you think is helpful. And if there's something that isn't helpful, then just leave it. Like that's fine. I'm not here. Kayla's not here to say this is exactly what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. This is just our perspective and our view based off of our life experiences. I'm just caveating this because there's like a little bit of a deeper conversation regarding relationships and communication. And if anything, for those that are listening to this, I hope it just gets you to start thinking about it. That would be what my takeaway would be from this is that you leave this feeling like having a little bit more awareness surrounding people that you're bringing into your life, people that you are attracting into your life, and behavior and interactions you're tolerating.
Mhm.
And I think we're kind of, we preface this by calling it like who your inner circle is. And there's some bullshit catchphrase like you are the five people you surround yourself with, which, yes, of course, like you're going to take on some traits and characteristics of the people that are closest to you, of course, because you're just around them all the time. You're going to pick up mannerisms, um, things you say, things are going to become more normal to you if you're around it a lot. And I think it's really important to also not look at relationships as transactional. Like, what am I? Because I think this conversation can lead into when people are like, make sure that the people around you are leveling you up and all that stuff. And that, yes, like, of course, you want people in your life that are challenging you, that are being honest with you, they're calling you out. But also, relationships are not necessarily to be transactional. And that, well, if you're not giving me something, I'm out. It's like, well, wait, hold on. Sometimes you should both be getting something out of the relationship. Both people should be getting something out of it. It shouldn't just be like, well, if you can't bring something to my life, bye. Like that's horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm just prefacing what I'm saying with that. Like, I do not think relationships should be transactional. And sometimes your friends and family members or your partner, they make bad decisions. And sometimes they're going through shit in life that's leading them to make these bad decisions. And it's that maybe that person has become somebody you don't recognize that they don't recognize. And that's where it comes in that you, as that friend, partner, family member, you should have that kind of relationship where you can say something. Be like, hey,
Mhm.
dude, I'm noticing X, Y, and Z, whatever it is you're noticing. This doesn't really align with the person. I hate the word align. Can we just say that? I fucking hate. I feel it reminds me of like corporate word salad bullshit, but it's the word that makes sense here. It's like I hate the word align, trauma, and trigger.
Oh yeah. And like, let's see. Triggering narcissist. Yeah, that's another one that's thrown around a lot. Like
Everyone's a yeah. Like,
everyone's a narcissist nowadays.
can we not clinically diagnose people if you're not a professional? Can we not do that?
Literally.
Yeah, everybody has the ability to be very selfish and self-centered and self-serving. Doesn't, anyway, it's a whole other rant. Everybody listening to this, really take a look at your relationships. And this is important because I see this a lot in my clients. I see this in people I know and interact with. My job that's not the bodybuilding job is very customer facing, and that I'm interacting with tons of people all the time. So everything I'm doing is people facing, and customer service oriented. So I'm just around a ton of people. Kayla, you just left me here and I don't, Kayla, you left me.
I'm sorry, I had to give Tyler his computer.
Oh, I was like, is she just like, Amanda's going to go on a rant. I'm just going to leave.
Well, it was like usually you talk for a little bit, so I was like, it'll be fine if I just like I'm just gonna scooch out the door really fast, give him his computer, and then I'll come back.
That was so funny. No, that was perfect. I was just like, oh, I was like, oh no.
Oh no, she left. Where'd she go? No, I'm
Right.
sorry. I didn't
No,
want
don't
to
be
leave you hanging.
sorry. You're totally good. I was just like, oh, but it just feels weird talking to like a blank screen.
Oh, 100%. It feels weird talking like we're talking to ourselves, but like not at the same time because people are gonna hear this. So like if y'all are
Yeah.
listening, it is
Yes.
it is really weird to like talk to yourself. That's why we just do it together because then it's like we're just having a conversation. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I was just prefacing this by just stating like where this is coming from. And it's not anywhere in particular where like I don't do the whole like something happened with a friend of mine and now I'm gonna go on a podcast and like
Oh, now I'm gonna be passive aggressive about it and stuff. Like, no,
no,
absolutely
that's
not. That's
fucked.
so
So
immature.
I've seen this throughout everywhere, everyone I know. And I was
Mhm.
actually like just talking to my husband about someone I was really close friends with a few years ago, and we've distanced a lot, like night and day. And he was like, how is so and so doing? And I was like, I don't know, I haven't talked to her in so long. And he was like, whatever really happened with that? And it was exactly this conversation.
Mhm.
And what this is look at the people, what kind of people are you attracting to your life? One, so like friends, people you're dating, person you're dating, whatever. Family member is not like attracted to
Multiple.
your family. Yeah, so like people you're bringing into your life.
Yep.
If you're consistently having themes come up a lot, like you feel like you're getting betrayed a lot or trust is broken, and you find yourself having this really negative outlook on relationships and like all men are bad, not all men, but like men are just fuck them, and or fuck women, they all just want to compete with each other and they're just catty. It's like that's more pointing to the people you've brought into your life, not to people in general. Because of
Mhm.
course there are men and women out there that suck 100%, but there's
Yeah,
also tons of
100%.
men and women out there that are incredible people.
Mhm.
And if you're consistently having these same themes of abuse of trust or manipulation, going behind your back, whatever the case may be, just like, behavior that's not in line with a really grounded, solid friendship or a relationship, you need to look at why are you attracting these kinds of people? And you need to take some accountability for that. And it's not that you're sitting there like, all right, whoever's fucked up, come over here and get in a relationship with me.
Right.
I
Right.
know no one's doing that, but like common things that are like, oh, you attract what you're comfortable with. So like growing
Hmm.
up, like if you had a very controlling parent that was all over your case and was a little bit on the manipulative side to get you to do what they wanted you to do, that's comfortable in a sense that it's familiar. Not comfortable like you like it, it's familiar. You're
Hmm.
attracted to what's familiar. So maybe you're dating people that are that same way. Having an awareness around this is how you're going to break that chain and start bringing in different kinds of people into your life, right? Otherwise, you're going to keep repeating the same pattern. I heard a therapist say, I forget who, but it was really good, that you tend to date or marry your unfinished business.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it's like they call it like daddy issues or mommy issues, whatever the case may be, whether you're,
Hmm.
male or female. And it's the truth. And it's not that, like, you obviously know this behavior is not what you want, and yet you're still tolerating it. So the next thing is you're bringing it into your life and you're then tolerating it. So I want to give like I guess, a personal example. By the way, I'm fully aware I have a lot of character flaws. This just is not one of them. This is one of my strengths. One of my strengths is that I don't tolerate bullshit. And
That's for damn sure.
and
I will attest to that one.
and here's the thing, it used to be in a really bad way. Like, and when I was younger, I was over the top. I was um, rude, a brat. I did not communicate very well. I was very short. And I just was young and stupid. And I could be rude. Like, I'll admit it right now. Like, I could be very rude. And I'm a completely different person now. I don't have a pessimistic view on human beings or people at all. Like, in fact, it's the opposite. Like, I think most people are phenomenal. And then, yeah, there's some people that fucking suck, but usually it's because they got there somehow. Um, but one of my character traits that I don't tolerate bullshit, and people can meet me and within 5 minutes, they know that. And it's not because I'm coming off like, fuck this and fuck, I'm not like that at all. Yeah. And Kayla's like shaking her head, like, I'm not, but I have a strong personality, and that people can just sense immediately that I'm not going to put up with that shit. I'm just not like, and when I say that shit, I mean, like, I'm not going to tolerate being mistreated, being talked to disrespectfully, people around me being spoken to disrespectfully or mistreated, people being passive aggressive, people trying to, be manipulative or controlling, like, God help you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not happening. I'm not naive. I'm not blind to human nature, but I'm not pessimistic either. I'm just very aware of it. And I don't ever have, like, okay, for example, the gym I go to, I hear about like how gossipy and chatty and it can be, which, I mean, any tight knit gym, yeah, Kayla, yours too. When you have a
Yep.
bunch of
Same.
young people, it's
Yep.
gonna fucking happen. I don't hear about any of it ever. And I'm there all the time because people know I don't tolerate that shit. If you're going to come up to me and start talking shit about somebody, find someone else. I don't do that.
Hmm.
Now, if you're coming up to me and you're like, hey, my really good friend is handling blah, 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 like, I don't know how to respond. Of course, that's a different conversation. But if people know that, and no one, I mean, I never hear about it because it doesn't come to me. I don't attract that shit. People don't do it around me. They'll like leave.
Hmm.
And it's because I don't invite that shit in. I don't at all. Cause like Dan, my husband, will joke. He's like, we'll hear a story about like a friend of ours, like her boyfriend, like yelled at her and told her, I'm going to do this. He's like, I would love to see a guy that you were dating in the past try to do that to you. I'm like, it's never happened. It's never fucking happened. Like, I would just not. And again, it's not because I'm yelling. I don't yell. I don't cuss in serious conversations. Like I'm very calm and I'm very direct. I'm not disrespectful because I don't want to be treated that way. I would never treat somebody that way. But the second shit starts to get like fuckeries going on, I'm like, whoa, 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 hell no. We're talking about this. We're not doing this. I shut
Puts
it.
the foot down.
Yeah, I shut it down and I'm like, what? This is not, even with my own friends, like, this is not okay. Like, we're not doing this. Like, let's talk it through. And so I found that as I went from being, could be a fucking bitch sometimes, which I could when I was young and just didn't have any filter and no communication skills. I took that energy and I used it to be like, okay, I can have a strong energy, a strong personality, and I can also be incredibly kind and approachable as well. But I can also give off the vibe of like, hey,
Don't mess with that bitch.
keep that shit to yourself. Yeah.
That's literally the vibe.
Literally, there's one of my clients, like there was some girl in the gym that my client was like really, really young, like graduating high school, like senior in high school. And she had come to the gym and some girls were being like catty to her. And I go, who? Who was it? And I go right up to them and I'm not mean. I'm just like, hey girls, can we like, what's happening here? Like what's going on? And they're like, no, 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 we're sorry. We didn't realize you were her coach. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it doesn't matter that I'm her coach. You shouldn't do that anyway. She's
Yeah.
new. She's, because she asked to like borrow a band 3 days in a row, and the gym's like, she needs to get her own band. I'm like, she's 17. Let her borrow the fuck. She returns it every time. It was like
Yeah.
something stupid like that. We didn't realize she was your client. Like, um, and they're like talking shit or whatever the case may be. I forget what it was. And I just calmly talked about them. I'm like, hey, this is how that comes off. And that's not what we're inviting. That's not the environment we're creating in this gym. And it was
Mhm.
a very calm conversation, but it was like totally, and they went and apologized to her and we were fine. But it's just like, but the first thing was like, we didn't know it was your client. I'm like,
Whoa, sorry.
but at the same time, I'm like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
It
And
shouldn't
that's,
matter whose client is whose. It's they're just a person. Like she
yeah.
clearly was new. Like you should treat a new person with like respect and be like, "Hey, do you need some help maybe?" instead of like ridiculing her, you know?
Yeah. And this was like, actually I had a similar situation of this happen another gym that was more recent, but that was a different situation. Like there was a girl that worked there and she's really cool actually. And we worked it out and it was totally fine. This was like a few years ago. And it was like, so these like young girls, like so catty and stupid.
Just
And
young
that's,
girl caddy bullshit.
oh, I know. And that's why I'm just like, and it's funny, I'll hear jokes about like, oh, people know not to fuck with your clients. And I'm like, why would you fuck with anybody? Like, just go to the fucking gym. Like,
Yeah.
and I said, I don't go in there. I don't yell at people. I'm not unhinged. Like, I am
No.
calm as shit. But that's the thing is, I don't invite that shit in. So it's not in my life. Like, I don't have,
Hmm?
people don't bring that to me. Like, even my friends. And it's not that I sit there and say, like, okay, friend group, by the way, I don't tolerate X, Y, and Z. So don't. It's not that. They just know that's just not the energy we're bringing. You know what I mean? Not to sound
No.
like all hokey here, but it's creating, I guess it's like deciding what you stand for and then sticking to it and not being afraid to stick to it. And because people will try, especially if you've been a certain kind of way, like you've allowed people to be controlling and manipulative because you're a little bit more of a people pleaser, like Kayla. Yes, she's like, I'm raising my hand. I'll shut up here in a second. Um, and it's just hard because it's uncomfortable. Like I totally get that my personality, I just was born that way. I'm not uncomfortable with addressing shit. It doesn't, but I'm uncomfortable when it's not addressed. I'm like, I feel like my skin's crawling. I hate it. I
Because you
have,
can feel this like weird tension, and then you're like, something's off, but like we're all just trying to avoid it. And like, why are we avoiding this? Like, why can't we just have the conversation and just get over it instead of trying to avoid it?
oh yeah, like my family would shit talk each other during the holidays. And at the table, I would be like 11 years old. I'm like, so Aunt Susie said this about so-and-so. Can you guys work it the fuck out? Cause I'm so tired of being, I didn't say the fuck at 11, but like,
Yeah.
can you guys like work out so I'm not in the middle? Like I would just out it in front of everybody. And
Hmm.
I'm so tired. So like, I get that I was just born with the ability to just be direct and have those conversations. They don't make me uncomfortable. And I
Mhm.
also get that there are lots of people that it is very uncomfortable because maybe when you tried to speak your mind before, you were like royally reprimanded for it, or it went really badly, or you just never were given a platform to have a voice. And I totally get that. What I'm saying
Mhm.
is you need to start fucking practicing.
Definitely. And like I can like totally attest to like what you said about not ever feeling like you can or getting just shut down when you do, because that was my childhood. As much as I love my dad, like he was, if you didn't agree with his opinion or if I tried to say my opinion back, it was just shut right down and I was talking back. So like I grew up very much as a people pleaser. And, like I had said earlier, like being in high school, I was just the nice girl because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to make anybody disappointed. Like, because my parents gave me the whole like silent treatment, like the I'm so disappointed in you. Like that's like worse than like just getting yelled at? So it was like, and for someone who just really wants everyone to just be happy all the time, I'm just like, I was always like walking on eggshells. So as an adult, especially in my current relationship, like Tyler has really pushed me to like, he's like, if we're having an argument, he's like, I want you to argue back with me. Like, just you can speak your mind. Like, it's okay. He's like, we're gonna get through it. And like, and when I say argument, we're not like yelling at each other or anything like that. We're just having like a conversation about something or like how something came across. And it was like, oh, I didn't realize it came across like this because like I had a certain tone in my voice. And so not even in just like romantic relationships, but like friendships too. Like you have to be aware, like self-aware for one. Like what Amanda said at the very beginning was like when we talk about our inner circle, like for one, you have to work on yourself first. Like, and it's gonna keep developing as you go, of course, and you grow as you get older. Like I said, when I turned 30, like things just really shifted for me and I cared more about like the quality of people in my life instead of like I just need to have all these friends because like I just want to feel liked kind of thing. Now I'm like, I know I'm a good person. I know I'm like have good values and stuff, and I just want to be around people that share the same things. And I have plenty of friends that aren't bodybuilders that don't do anything in fitness with family like that doesn't do anything in fitness and stuff, and it's great. Like I can still have conversations with them and like intellectual conversations, and like that is super fun. So with this whole thing, working on yourself first is going to be the biggest step, because what Amanda said, like what you allow into your life and what you're attracting is going to be a big part of that. Because if you want to level up, you have to, and like being a pro, for example, easiest example we can give. If you want to turn pro, like you have to act like a pro before you are one. Like you don't just like walk on stage and it's like you're a pro and then you're like something changes. Like you have to change that in your mind first and start doing and telling yourself, okay, what would a pro do? Or like if you want to be more confident in yourself, okay, like this, and I say this a lot, like to myself, as I'm like, okay, I have this like one thing that's kind of bothering me, but like I need to say something about it. And it's really scary too, because I don't want Tyler to get mad or something, or so and so to get mad that I brought something up. But I need to say something because it's kind of bothering me. Or like it was maybe just miscommunicated, or like I just need some reassurance about XYZ. And previously I would have just been like, nope, I'm just gonna stuff it down, like it's fine, everything's fine, because that was comfortable. But at the same time, it wasn't comfortable because I was sitting there having anxiety about it all the time. And now it's like work myself up all this time for like these issues that I have. And then I'm like, oh, it wasn't actually that big of a deal when I talk about it. But and for someone like we are very opposite in that way. But that's one why I really was like attracted to you as a friend. And I was like, it's like she has a really strong personality. I was like, I like that. Like, I want to be more like that. So like that attracted me to Amanda when we were becoming friends and stuff. And I just like love being around like strong-willed, like independent type women. And because I felt like always that I was like very dependent on people, just in like a social aspect. So yeah, work on yourself first. That is the biggest thing. What do you want to be like? Who do you want to attract? Like if you want to be more confident, like you can do it. You just have to take the steps and be uncomfortable in that process.
Yeah, and it's really just like start the first step to that is just starting to notice it. Like just being aware of it,
Mhm.
because if you're not aware of it, here's the thing, like people can tell you like, "Oh, don't date that guy. You shouldn't be friends with her." It's not going to fucking matter. No one's going to tell you what to do. But
Mhm.
it's just starting to be like aware, like, okay, let me sit back for a second. What do my relationships look like? Like, do I have friendships that are super symbiotic, meaning you both get a lot out of it, you're both supportive of each other. And like, yeah, maybe there's periods of time where if you have a really good friend going through a divorce, like you're there for her and she's at her lowest point, and then like, you know, you're carrying more of the load of the friendship right then because she's going through something really hard. And then a year later, like you lose a parent and it's the same thing for you. Like she's there to pick you up and she's carrying the load. That happens. And sometimes your friends will make fucking stupid decisions. I will make fucking stupid decisions. You know what I mean? But that's where those friendships are so important. Because if you're not surrounded by people that are holding you accountable, that are people you respect, that's the biggest thing. Be around people you respect. And when I say respect, I mean they have something you want, they live their life with integrity. Doesn't mean they're perfect, but as a general rule, they treat other people well, they're hardworking, like all these things that are important to you. Like I'm just listing off things that are important to me. Everybody's different. Um, it's so important that you start to notice that, because if you're not even able to see it, it's not like people can tell you up and down all day, oh, don't date that guy. Because it's like someone asked me once, like, what would you do if like a really good friend of yours was like constantly going back to a guy that was cheating on her? And I thought about it and I was like, I don't think that would happen. Not because women don't going through that don't have a hard time. I'm like, I'm not surrounded by women. And hear me out when I say this. This is not like in a like looking down kind of way. Like I know there's so much that goes into when that happens. Like someone's cheating on you or mistreating you and you continue to stay. I have not surrounded myself with women that will tolerate that kind of behavior in their lives. Maybe
Mhm.
once, maybe if they're married with kids, like there's context here. But we all know that friend that like this guy just treats him like shit. Like he cheats on her. He's like forgets her birthday or like just treats her poorly. Like none of my friends would tolerate that because I don't know. I just don't surround myself with women that are in that place in life. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's not that like those women are can't be my, it's not that at all. I just haven't attracted those women in my life that are in my close circle, meaning like
Mhm.
my 4 or 5 like really closest friends. You know what I mean? Like they just don't, it's just never happened. Cause I was thinking about it. I'm like, I just don't think. And if it did, I can tell you this for damn certain. Any one of you guys would come to me and be like, Amanda, I feel like so beat down and I know I'm allowing my boyfriend, husband to treat me like this. I don't know what to do. This isn't me. I need help. Like they would be in a place where they were like, like she and I both know this isn't her. Like something's going on. Like she's been like over the years, like he's just beaten down her self-confidence, her self-esteem, and she's allowed it, whatever the case may be. But it would they know that I'd be the person to go to, like the big sister, like, girl, let's get you, like, we're this no more. We're not doing this
Mhm.
anymore. This life's too fucking
Mhm.
short. You know what I mean? And those I have those conversations with my friends, and it's such an honor to be on, like that's the best way I can describe it. It's such an honor knowing I can be the person they can go to when they feel like they've lost their strength. Because they know they remember who they are, but they've lost it. It's like, hey, I've lost myself, like because maybe they lost their mom, someone they lost a parent, and they're just in this hole of like suddenly in this hole of depression, and they're starting to make choices and do things that are not them because they're just lost. And there's no greater honor than being that than them coming to you or me or whoever, trusting me to be like, I'm lost, I need fucking help. Like you know this isn't me, I know this isn't me, but I can't get out of it. You know what I mean? You can't have those kinds of friendships and conversations if you're not surrounding yourself with women who respect themselves, respect you, and have immense integrity. If you're surrounding yourself with friends that are just like, we like fun, they kind of fuck around and they treat their other friends like they're kind of backstabby and just like not the greatest and they shit talking behind their back.
They're fun to party with, kind of thing.
You think that friend's going to sit you down at your worst and be like, girl, this is not you. We're figuring no more of this. This is not you. We're
Hmm.
getting the fuck up. I'm coming to your house tomorrow
Hmm.
morning. You're getting in, I'm shoving you in the shower. We're putting an outfit on. We're going to the gym. We're doing this. Like, you think that kind of friend's going to come grab you when you're at your worst? Hell no.
No.
Like, they don't, yeah, that's just because, and it's not because those people are bad people. That's just, they're not there in life yet. Hopefully they get there, but they're
Yep.
not there yet, you know, or maybe
Yep.
they've never been shown what that looks like to have
Hmm.
somebody that's like, dude, that's not just gonna, I'm not gonna sit there and allow one of my friends to just waste away or to lose her self-respect. Hell no. You know what I mean?
Nope. Nope. And like, I think the biggest thing too is that being around like friends, people, relationships that are going to be completely honest with you too. And not honest in a way of like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to tell them this because they're gonna be mad at me, but be like, I just need like just like morally and like your values too, like you align in all of that and they know like you just said, like it's not you, but like you fucked up, right? You did something, something happened and you're just like, fuck, like I really just like shit. And so you go to this friend, like you can still tell them anything, and you know that like you might get a little bit of like an ass chewing, but it's not going to be like a like I'm leaving you forever. Like and it goes to the same as like in relationships. Like something that I'm always scared about is like abandonment. Like for whatever reason, I don't know. Like I haven't figured that out yet, but it's there. But like Amanda is one of my best friends that I go to when shit's fucked up, and I'm just like, I need you to tell me the truth about this, and like might suck for a second, but like it's gonna be fine. And like for my pro debut, when you guys were there in San Antonio with me, and we got off stage, and I was like, I wasn't lean enough, like it just was shit, blah blah. Like Amanda literally sat there, and she's like, I should have told you this earlier. She's like, but you knew you weren't lean enough, like you knew it, and like she told me that straight to my face, and I was like, you know what? I was like, you're right. I did. I knew it. Like I know what I'm looking at, but I was doing my best trying to follow the plan and I should have known better. I should have spoke up and I didn't. So, she was still very empathetic with me, but at the same time, she was like, I'm gonna call you out and just be like, hey, like you did know, like you should have known this going into the show. And I was like, yeah, yeah, you're right.
That was
So
a hard conversation and it was so good. This is one of the reasons I love Kayla so much. I love you so much because you're so receptive and that, because here's the thing, you know, I know I can tell you just about anything, and it's only because I love you. It's not because I'm trying to, I don't know,
ridicule or
put you
chastise you.
down or
Yeah.
I
Nope.
want nothing more than to see you win in every area of your life. Like I want, and like you are like every year, it's like both of us, like we're
Yeah.
growing, doing the
Both
thing.
of us, like for sure. We've both have been through each other's divorces, so this is like
Bro, it's a journey. Yeah, that's been, oh man, what a time. We should have a divorced conversation, a divorce podcast.
Oh, we could talk all about divorces.
Divorce
Being,
cast.
being divorced before, well, I was divorced before 30. You were like shortly after 30, but
Yeah, I was like,
divorced at a young age, I guess I
yeah.
should.
But when you have those kinds of friendships where you know the intention of the other person, Kayla knows my intention with everything I say to her.
Mhm.
It's only because I love her and I want to see her win in everything. And that was built over time. That wasn't just because I told her that. I've shown her through my actions, my dedication to her as a friend, her ability to trust me and never breaking that trust, being there. And she's done the same for me. Like I know anything she says to me is only coming from a place of love. Like I would never, even if it's hard to hear, it might still be like, oh, that's a zinger. You know what I mean? Because
Like,
that
ouch.
conversation, yeah, it's still going to be painful,
Oh,
but I also knew one, you can handle it. And two, the second I say this, she's gonna know. Like she's gonna be like,
mhm,
because it was like those situations are tough because of like that prep, of course, like I'm not your coach. It's not my place to tell you
mhm,
where you're at in your conditioning. Like that's you pay a
yep,
coach. And I think everybody was giving you this really positive feedback about your
mhm,
conditioning and like especially
mhm.
being your coach and then other people. And I was like, I just don't think people like, it's like no one telling her the fucking truth. Like, is what's the fuck is
Mhm.
going on here? Because I have eyes and your shape and muscularity is phenomenal, obviously. But I'm like, she's not where she needs to be conditioning wise. And then at the end, afterwards, like you, of course, like were, disappointed in the outcome. And I told Dan, I was like, do you think it would be out of what's the word?
Out
Like
of
not,
line.
yeah, out of line for me. Because with friendships, it's difficult sometimes. Like you don't want to insert yourself into their relationships unless it's, you feel like harm is coming about because of it. Like if I feel like you're being harmed, I don't give a fuck whose feelings are hurt. I'm saying something
Right.
right now,
Right.
physically, emotionally. But this situation was a little bit different. And so I was like, I don't want to insert myself in a place where I don't belong, or that's not my business, even though I feel like everything in your life is my business. It's not,
And
but
vice versa.
at this point, and so we were talking about it. I was like, and I forget, I was like, dude, let's just get on the phone, let's just chat. Cause I knew you were upset. And
No,
you,
this was at the Airbnb. You did it with me at the Airbnb.
oh, that's right. Cause then we talked, I remember having a conversation with you laying on my bed too. This may have been afterwards,
This was
but
before
I,
when I was in Colorado visiting you guys, and then you called me and talked about the phone thing.
oh, okay, that's right. But I
That
remember
was
being,
that one.
dude,
Mhm.
I was like, this is gonna hurt, but I think you're ready to hear it. You're a pro. You should have known you weren't ready.
Yep.
And then
Hmm.
and I was like, you should, and it wasn't that Kayla didn't know. She was still in a place of like trusting the coach, like, okay. Because a lot of times, especially in prep, you get prep goggles, you get prep brain. Like maybe I'm not seeing myself objectively. Maybe I am lean enough. Maybe everyone else is telling me I'm lean enough. Maybe I'm fine. And I'm like, dude, you're a coach. You're a pro. You know
Hmm.
that you weren't ready.
Hmm.
And so, yes, it's Jason, like, I shouldn't say his name. Your coach should have done a better job, obviously. Like, he shit the bed with that. But also, you should have been like, I'm not ready. We need to do a different show or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And you like pause and you're like, fucking, you're like, yeah, that does hurt. But yeah,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, you guys, your coach is not the one getting on stage. It's
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
It's you. And there are times where like we all feel like we're like, I'm like, I'm not lean enough and my glutes are striated. I'm like, I'm bikini. I know I do that, but also most of the time, like once I get the feedback, because I told Dan this even going into Clash, I'm like, they're probably gonna want me a tiny bit tighter. And everyone was not, I mean, Cameron agreed with me a little bit, but everyone was like, no way, you're way too, like you're already lean enough because I'm lean on my upper body, right? And I'm
Hmm.
like, telling
Body
you,
always gets leaner first.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
exact feedback I got. And I'm like, I'm not retarded. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying I need to lose 20 more pounds. Like,
No, no.
but it's like, it's so anyway, it was trusting yourself to know that you know what you're looking at. And after that, you were like, I'm never not trusting myself again.
Yeah, because I had said things too, and I had said because I
Yeah.
was noticing, I was like, I'm not as vascular this time around, and I was like, and I've been shredded, so I knew I was like, this just doesn't feel right, but I was like, I'm gonna trust the process. I'm not gonna question things or anything, and then I was just like, yep, okay, well, I was right. Like in my head, I was right. I should have spoke up. So like it was, just kind of confirmed to me. But at the same time, I was like, well, I fucked up. And I was like, I'm gonna own that. And if you guys want a really good book to read, like I just thought of this, Extreme Ownership by Jocko. Super, super good. Like all the principles that he lays out in there are applicable to every single day of like your whole life and yourself. Like I'm gonna probably read it again because it was so good. But that second show, so what had happened is I was basically eating, I figured out the issue of why I couldn't get like as vascular. Like as I'm sitting here, like you can see veins in my arms and I'm not even like lean yet. So I'm like, there's definitely something going on here. I was taking insulin and eating only like 60 carbs a day, and he wanted me to be on insulin. And
Ah,
I was like, I don't think this is working. I was like, I'm only eating 60 carbs a day. Like, this is not, you don't need
you're like,
insulin for that.
yeah,
So I
terrible.
dropped it, and like fucking overnight, I dropped 4 pounds. And I was like, huh. so I told him, I was like, I dropped this and I dropped 4 pounds. And the response was just like, oh, that doesn't usually happen. And I was like, happened
What?
for me. I was like, I don't know. Like,
Because I
so,
remember telling you too, I was like, why the fuck? And then
mhm.
I would catch myself like, I'm not your coach. Like, and here's the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
I'm not coaching Olympians. I'm not even coaching pros. Like, I get that I'm not on that level, but that's another podcast, guys.
yeah. Stepping in on like your friends' stuff and whatnot. Like when
Yeah,
you
because
step in
it's
on like a coach's, stuff too. And like, yeah. So, but I mean, we know better, like we know better now too, like and stuff. And like we always share each other's things, like not like exact, I guess, but if we feel like something is off, like we'll tell each other. And
yeah,
like I think that we're all very good about that, like Carolyn too, like in our group and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, go to your friends, talk to them, but also just like trust your gut on things because you're probably right.
yeah. So if you have the knowledge to back it up, which you do, like if you're an
Yes.
amateur, it's your first show, don't
Yeah.
trust. Yeah, because your gut's
Yeah.
gonna tell
No.
you.
Your
Well,
gut's gonna tell you that you need ice cream and
I need
cookies.
a refeed. And it's like, no, well, no. But yeah, so
Um,
like the point of that story was like you need to be one, there's two things to look at with that. In your relationships, are you able to have those conversations? Because if I have a friend who I know I can't have those direct conversations with, that is somebody that's outside my inner circle. Now, I can still care for that person, enjoy time with that person, but
mhm.
that's not the inner circle because if I can't even have my diet face right now is so bad, dude. I'm looking at this Zoom screen. It's fucked. It's like the most unflattering angle. Hopefully, no one's watching this and they're just listening. But
As
you
everyone turns off Spotify, goes to YouTube to watch.
yeah, don't go to YouTube, guys, if you don't want to have like a scare.
Oh, that's great.
But are you able, like, if I'm not able to have those conversations with them, I can't be direct and honest. That's not really a friendship I'm looking for because that's
No.
a huge block in us being able to grow together as friends or partners or whatever the relationship is. I have to be able to be constructively honest, and I want that in return. So,
Yeah.
are you able to do that with your friends? And are you able to receive that from them? Are
Being
you
open to feedback. Like
are you
it's
defensive? Yeah.
yeah, because and I can say this because I used to be, I still am sometimes like defensive on stuff because it's just, for me, it's the like embarrassment of like, oh, I was wrong or oh, I messed up and I'm supposed to be perfect. Like, and some people get defensive like that. So like sometimes I gotta call myself out and be like, sorry, nope, I didn't mean to say that. Like I was being defensive. I apologize, but it's be open to receiving feedback. So it's with communication, like I think we've talked about this before, but it's 50% of the communicator giving the message in a proper way, but then the person being communicated to receiving that in a good way and not malicious or as like, oh, they're out to get me, oh, I'm the victim kind of thing. It's just feedback.
Exactly. And that you guys, that does not always mean that when someone gives you feedback, that you take that and you're like, okay, that's what I need to do. That's what I was doing. It's not that at all. Sometimes people give me feedback and I'm like, oh yeah, that you're totally right. I totally see that. Sometimes people give me feedback. I'm like, that's fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
happens, but in both scenarios, I'm willing to listen and consider it. So if someone gives me feedback, I'm like if a friend's like, I think you're doing this, whatever, I don't know what it is, something. And I'm like, okay, I was like, you know what? Let me consider that. And like, I'll sit there and be like, okay, if I'm in her perspective, her shoes, and I'm watching this happen, and maybe she doesn't know the context, maybe this, that, and the other, I could look at it like, I could totally see how I could have come off that way. And okay, that's not what my intention was. And I can go back to her and be like, hey, totally apologize, blah, blah, blah. But then if I look at it, I'm like, no, my reaction was actually warranted given the situation. My tone was like, you may not have wanted it, but it was warranted. And I feel that way. I'm like, then I can consider, but I still consider the feedback and I can receive it. And I
Mhm.
don't immediately just like, oh, fuck that person. I don't know. If I'm unsure, I'll be like, you know what? I'll be like, hey, thank you for like the feedback and letting me know. Can I like sit on it for a little bit and like really think it through? And then
Mhm.
I will. And if I don't, agree with it. I don't have to take it into consider. I don't have to like use it. And then if I do agree with it, then of course I'll use it. Like you're still your own person. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
But
And
it's
that's not to say like I think there's some people nowadays too that are, how do you put it, like over therapied,
yeah.
where they got to go to therapy and talk to their therapist about it. Talk to their therapist. How do I respond to this? How do I? And then they make a whole response with the therapist, which is fine for like feedback. You know where I'm going with this.
I do
Just fine
know.
for feedback, but like the person on the receiving end can tell usually if it's kind of like a faked like answer and not like legitimate and authentic. So it's like, okay, you're gonna wait till X day when like you know you have your therapist appointment. Like, okay, I'll hear from you then. Like that's not genuine, and it's not. So when you're talking about these things with people, like if you need a second, like sometimes I need a minute. Like I'm not very good with like articulating my words, especially when I'm like worked up about something. So I have to be like, I need a second. I can't figure out how I'm trying to say this. Or I'll just say like this, I'm not sure how this is gonna come across, but like this is the only way I know how to say it. And like I'm not trying to be like mean or anything. I'm just like, I don't know how else to say this, and so being open and talking about things like that with someone is very, very important, but communicate it in a way that's not just like you did this. Like the I statement thing is very, very true. That's a thing from therapy that we can all take away. And therapy is not bad by any means. I go to therapy every single week. Not bad at all. But find a therapist, like if you're with one, that's going to challenge you with questions instead of just agree with you with everything. Because if you're doing that, you're not growing either. Like you're not, even your therapist like isn't helping you at all. They're just agreeing with you, making you feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. Therapy is killer. Like I've had therapists off and on since college, probably.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think something to look at too, if you're noticing patterns in behaviors and people around you that you're like, this is just like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of whatever the case may be.
Negativity, complaining, like things like
No
that.
fucking drama in my life. I have none. Like and it's not because I'm not like sitting here like I am not the drama. I just no one in my life does that. Like me and my girlfriends will like shit talk stuff we see like on TV or off in the distance, whatever, sometimes like out of fun, like girl talk. Like, yeah, we do that all the time. But I don't have like, sorry, I'm just moving my thing around here. I don't have like interpersonal drama
Mm-mm.
because the people that are like, for example, I have family members that are like that and I love them. I don't talk to them very often. I'm not a believer that just because you're family, it means you're automatically in my life. Fuck no. Like
Hmm.
that's just not the case. Like I can love you and see you on holidays and be incredibly kind to you, but I'm not like developing this deep relationship with you. I that's just not going to happen.
Hmm.
Um, but I find that when, another thing to look at too is if you feel like the person you're dating is just treating you poorly over and over and over again, it's like, what about you do you not like that's allowing you to tolerate that kind of treatment? Because you tolerate what you deserve, what you think you deserve.
Yes.
But again, you tolerate what you think you deserve. And I mean, I hear it all the time from girls like, why do you think, well, they like rationalize and justify, and they've rationalized and justified this person's behavior and actions for so long that it seems normal to them. And that's where those friends that can sit you down and be like, girl, shit's fucked up. This guy sucks. He treats you like shit and you're allowing it. You're a part of it. You know what I mean? And that's where like that's what I mean by those kinds of women. If that's like a consistent thing, I can't have you in my inner circle because I just ah
It just it pulls you down. Like when you have somebody that's constantly complaining, having issues, having drama, all this stuff, but like, and you've said to them multiple times, like, you don't have to stand for that or you don't have to tolerate that, but they continue to do it. There is a point where you're just like, I just like can't do this anymore, you know?
well, I'm not a therapist. Like I'm
No.
not that like something like that needs like someone needs to really work through and figure out like what's at the source of it. And I'm not saying I can't be a friend, like friends with you. Like I will be there for you. I will love you. I will listen to you. But this isn't like, I cannot, in this point in my life right now, develop a deep bonded relationship with a woman who doesn't respect herself.
Hmm.
Because if you don't respect yourself, it's going to constantly be, I'm going to feel like I'm your therapist for this entire relationship.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, and I understand it. Like when you're feeling at your worst, like you're going to look to those around you to help build your strength again. And again, we all have moments and periods of time in our life where we need that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this is how they are
Just constant, 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 all the
constant
time.
over and
Yeah.
over. And I'm like, and that's what happened with the girl I mentioned earlier, who I was really close with after my divorce. And then I really pulled away because she just made really bad decisions in her relationships. And she just allowed men and friends to treat her like shit, and she would tolerate it and continue to go back. And I think it was this need, like partly, I think, which made me sad because she's an incredible human being. She didn't think she deserved better. Um, because there were parts of herself she didn't like, which I understand. We all have parts of ourselves we don't like. But rather than start to face those things and be like, okay, why don't I like me? What about me do I not like? And then becoming someone you respect, that you look in the mirror and you respect. Doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. Of course we all do. Um, and then this constant need to be needed. Like she needed to be the hero and the savior, and she loved that. She loved swooping in with her friends or the guy
Mm-hmm.
and saving the situation, because that made her feel loved and needed, was when she was doing that. And it was so hard because it was like this constant drama, things happening, having to go get her at night and take her back, and like just like knockdown dragouts with the boyfriend. I'm just like, girl, and I had so many deep conversations with her. She had a therapist, like, and it just got to the point where I was like, and like she even was like, why are we so like not close? Like we used to be so close. I'm like, because I love you. I truly love you. But for whatever reason, you don't see yourself the way I see you, and you don't respect yourself, and you surround yourself with terrible people. And
Hmm.
I'm starting to lose respect for you.
Yep.
And I was like, I will always love you. And if you ever get to a point in time in your life where you're like I'm starting to turn things around, I'll be the first person. It's not that I like cut her off because she made mistakes. I just mean
No.
it was constant. And that
Hmm.
was our whole relationship. It had become, our whole relationship was talking about her drama for hours and hours, and then her not doing anything about it and just continuing to go back to it.
It's basically just like a vent session, and then just like you get all this advice and stuff, and then she's like, "Yep, yep, okay," and then just like does the same thing the next day, and it's like, did that even like
Yeah,
even sink in?
it just became like sad to see. And
Yeah.
I felt like I'm now coming swooping in to save you in a way. And I was like, girl, I can't be that for you. Like I
Hmm.
can't save you. You have to save yourself.
Yep.
No one's coming to save you. Any of
Yep.
us. You have to
Yep.
save yourself. And that's what I told her. I was like, as harsh as this is, I just so you know, I love you. And if you call me in the night, you're like, I will come. I will always come. But you don't respect yourself, and I have lost respect for you. And I
Yep.
cannot have a really close bond with a woman who doesn't respect herself.
Hmm.
And it's not because I'm choosing that the nature of the relationship will be such that
It's just disconnected.
I can't develop a deep relationship with somebody who's going back to a man that cheats on them constantly. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, dude. It's like, girl, because I don't like and it's not that like, oh fuck her. Like I hope people are understanding what I'm saying when I say this. It's just like I can't have a deep connection. And I'm not this, it wasn't like one time. This is like years of this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like this just happened and it came out of nowhere. Like the context is there was years of this. The friends she surrounded herself with were shit. She would put herself in bad situations and make bad choices. And I told her that. And I know it was really hurtful, but it was the truth. And I was very clear that like I love you, and like I will always pick up the phone when you call. Like I will always, but that we're texting each other all day and sending memes and doing and like hanging out at every, I can't do that with you
Hmm.
because
You're like, it doesn't feel authentic.
I can't even really relate to you anymore. Like I'm
Hmm.
married, I have this incredible relationship. I have these really strong women around me. And then you know what I mean? There's just like, and you're doing this for years. And it's like, dude, we're in different places. And I can't develop a deep connection with that.
And to that point, like you also shouldn't feel like, and I don't know if you felt like this at all, but like you mentioned like you were married with a great relationship. Like, did it ever make you feel like you like couldn't talk about how good your relationship was or something sweet that Dan did? Otherwise, like she'd be like, "Oh, must be nice," or like, like you didn't want to sound like you were bragging or something like did it make you feel like that kind of?
With her, no, because she loved Dan.
Okay,
Her
that's good.
no, because she was never like she was really good about she was always happy for people around her. Like she was never, but I have had friends that are like that though.
I was gonna say, yeah, because that's a thing too.
Yeah, like you can't even celebrate good things happening in your life because their life is a constant stream of like negative things that they're like the common denominator is them, but they won't take any accountability for it. You know what I mean? You're
Yep.
like, dude,
I'll take it as like you're just trying to brag. Like, thanks for sharing, making me feel like shit. And it's like, I was just
well, you
trying to
don't
share.
want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be able to have women in my life. Like obviously, if like when your dad was passing, I'm not calling you like, Kayla, I hit a new low. Like it's actually,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, no, that's dumb. But in general, like you can celebrate each other and be genuinely excited and like want to tell them like, girl, this just happened. Holy shit, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. Like I met this guy and you know they're going to be super like, tell me all about it. Like that's what you want. Like that's what you
Hmm.
should have. And then when you're fucking around and trying to find out, that same friend should be like, girl, sit the fuck down. What are you doing? What's going on?
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And all these friendships in relationships too, like whole relationships you do have to kind of like break up with the person, but like friendships, like you don't necessarily have to just like cut someone out of your life. Like you can just kind of just kind of distance yourself a little bit. And it's also within like proximity of yourself too, of like who you hang out with. Like I've gone to different gyms and like met great people there and like went to a different gym and then just they didn't come with and I just don't really talk to them anymore. Not that anything was bad, not that anything happened. I just don't see them all the time. They're just my gym friends kind of thing. Or like in college, I had a great dorm experience. Well, my roommate was just kind of meh, but our floor anyways was great. Like we were all really close, all awesome. Um, and then like my best friend from that year, she went to a different school the following year. And we were like best friends. Like we were like didn't hadn't ever drank till college, like that kind of thing. We were both the like hoo, 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 like little goody two shoes. And she went to a different college and then we just kind of like fell off from talking to each other. And like we still follow each other on Instagram. Like she just had a baby, like and I like her stuff and whatnot, but like we're just not as close anymore. Like I don't know really anything that's going on in her life and stuff, but I if she ever called me and like or if we saw each other I'd be like sat there and like chit chat for forever, and like it's not like these friendships have to like end ever in a poor way. It just you
Oh,
just kind of grow and like you guys people go their different ways and like this is definitely something I learned from like my 20s especially was people just grow up. Like I still have really great friends from high school that are in like Wisconsin that I hung out with. I don't talk to them all the time. They still live in Wisconsin. I live in Fargo. Like I don't see them all the time. I think, but it was last summer, I went home and I was like, hey, can I come stop by? I just want to see you guys. And it had been like 5 years, I think, since I seen them. And I went over, like, she had her mom come over because her mom was like my old gymnastics coach from when I was like in kindergarten and stuff. And like
God.
her husband's like friends came over to, well, their friends came over too. Like we all went to high school together. Like I saw her new baby and stuff. And it was like we just picked up right where we left off. And they're like, Kayla, what's been happening in your life? Like, man, like if you need anything, like just let me know. Like we're always here for you, and like we don't talk all the time. We don't talk every day but like we still every once in a while like she'll send me a snap of like her little boy and like it's the best thing ever and like you don't have to be super close with like all of your friends like that but you can still have good genuine connections and it's just We're talking about your very inner circle, the people you're around a lot of time, the people that you hang out with the most. Like, even though like we're all in different states here on this podcast, like we hang out with each other like the most. We talk every other week, we text each other, not every day, but we're always around each other. So that's just something really important to be thinking of when you surround yourself with people and the group you want to be in.
You know, you have a good friend when they buy their ticket to come watch your national show before you do. Kayla bought, like, she texted Dan, I think, or let Dan know that, like, hey, I bought my ticket to come see Amanda Universe. And I have this thing about I am not paying or buying shit until I'm qualified, until like, because for me, this is like the only,
It's like
maybe
superstition.
it's like one of the few superstitious. I don't like to count my chickens, guys. Like yeah, because you never know. You never know who's
Mhm.
going to show up at something, and you
Yep.
never know what can happen. And so I just never assume that, like, oh, because I've, won in the past, that I'm just going to win this year. And like, you just never know. And so
Hmm.
like, we're not booking one goddamn thing until I'm qualified, until like I win the show. Like and if I don't win the show, I need to reevaluate what the fuck I'm doing because we need to go to another show or talk to Cameron or like whatever the case may be.
Yep.
This woman, she's like, no, I know she's gonna do it. Like, that is a fucking friend right there. Cause I was, oh shit. I was like, fuck, dude. Like,
I
what if
was
I
like,
look like
and I
shit?
wasn't worried, and I was like, well, worst case scenario, Amanda doesn't make it, and I just get to go to Universe by myself and watch the show. I've never been to Universe, so I'm like, either way, like it's gonna be a good time.
I realized we planned this so poorly because I was like, Dan, because I have to meet on Friday. I was
Oh
like, we
yeah,
should
you
have,
do.
yeah. I was like, we should have spent the day Saturday in Manhattan because he's never been. It's 5 minutes. I was like, I just didn't even
I
put it,
never have either.
I didn't put it together because we're flying back Saturday. And I was like,
Yep, same.
I might try to see if we can change our flight. Cause I'm like, on the one hand, it'd be nice to have like a full day home before work starts again.
Yeah,
But I was like, that was so fucking stupid. Like, we could have spent all of Saturday in Manhattan going to some different like food places, coffee places, like just because he's never seen the city either, just kind of like
I never
exploring.
have either. Yeah.
I know. And so I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Okay, well, if you guys change your flight, I'll check and see if I can change mine. See if I can just go at least like in the afternoon maybe, so we can like go to breakfast or something and at least see a little bit of Manhattan.
Yeah. And honestly, if you don't like, dude, I don't want you to spend any, yeah. So
Yeah,
no.
no, if it doesn't cost like anything to do that, I will. But I'll take a look. But no,
Although
like that's
Sam was like, why didn't we do that? I'm like, because I didn't even realize how small New Jersey is.
no, because we're from the freaking Midwest and the West where everything is like humongous and like spaced out. And then over
Yeah,
there
like
on like, the whole
hours from
East Coast,
away.
that it's just all like tiny.
I
And
know. I was
you can
like,
go to 3 states in a day.
do you hear him?
No, is he whining?
He's just chasing his tail, like in circles because he's bored. Granted, this dog has like 20 different toys. He'll just come in here and like when he gets the zoomies, he'll just like, and he'll be like, rah, 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 like chasing his
Ah,
tail.
that's so funny. This last weekend we went to Tyler's brother's house for like a summer like house party kind of thing, like barbecue, whatnot. And so like they live out in the country, so we brought Howie with us and they had a bunch of other dogs there and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, perfect. Howie can play with other dogs. And he was so jacked to like go play with all these dogs. And like this one dog, she just wanted nothing to do with him. And so she'd just like nip at him and he'd just like hop away. He'd be like, oh, come get me. And like, just little puppy things. Oh, so cute. But he's like the biggest floppy, klutzy dog I've ever seen in my whole life. Like not athletic whatsoever. He like trips falling like going down the stairs when we take him outside. It's hilarious.
He still has his little sea legs, those little puppy sea.
Oh, just big floppy paws. Like just paws he doesn't know what to do with.
Our neighbor has a brand new baby Saint Bernard puppy.
Oh,
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 okay. We can
so
see them
cute.
taking her out and she like practicing her little training. And yesterday, oh my God, her name is I forget her name. Crap. But she's this little floppy little black ball of fluff. And so he puts her on the grass and he's trying to teach her to come. So he puts her on the grass And he like walks, like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet away. He's like, come on. And she just like flops over on her back. And it's just like, and then a leaf
It's
rolls
like,
by and she like starts chasing after the leaf. And you can see him like, like, just like puppy brain, like a leaf. Ooh.
yep,
It was,
yep.
I
How he
was like,
likes birds.
yeah, that one
He
too.
will, I mean, he's part hound, so like makes sense. And but he'll see a bird and he'll just like watch it. And like even on the leash, he'll like choke himself because he tries to like run after it. And, we use like little like the choke chains or whatever. And he just chokes himself, and I'm like, well, that was your own fault. Like, I'm just standing here, dude. Like, I'm not running after you. Sorry.
They get like tunnel visioned and they don't even notice it. They're just
Mm-hmm.
like, but yeah, it was the cutest thing. She's just like this little floppy because she's like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 weeks old, like baby puppy.
Just a little
They're
baby
like, come
fluffy.
on. And she looks at him and she just goes, I'm gonna lay down instead.
Oh,
And then a leaf rolls by and she goes, leaf, and like goes after you could just see him being like, oh, well, that's not happening. It was the
yep, yep.
cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh my God.
Saint
Like,
Bernards are awesome dogs.
I know
They're
they're so
great.
cute. And there's a
We
baby.
had we had two growing up as a kid.
Oh, they're so sweet.
They're great dogs, like great family dogs for sure. And like there are ones that don't drool so much too, like they call them like a dry mouth Saint Bernard. And so if you don't want drooling, then there's that, but they still have a lot of hair.
I was
But
just gonna say the hair. Oh, I don't
yep,
know that I can do it.
yep. The
Because
hair
like
stuff.
even Enzo has like normal Dober hair, so it's like it sheds, but it's small. But
Yep.
like husky hair, the Bernie hair, I'm
Oh,
just like, oh, I don't know. It's a
yep.
lot.
No, even like Odin with he's a Malinois, so he's got like just and especially when he sheds, it just like you can just like peel it off his legs, and it's just
Shepherd
like
hair.
there's
Yeah.
so yeah, shepherd hair. It's just so much of it. But like corn, short hair, like I don't ever see any of his hair.
Yeah. Enzo is just
So
like little, I see it in my food all the time. Like I'll have like
oh
my
yeah, little just
yogurt
short
bowl,
little
like
black hairs.
little Enzo floofs. I'm like, Enzo, he's in my food. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I
just
get that with cats, with my cat hair too. I have a little like on my lip,
a
like
little, yeah, you're like, ugh, because I get
yeah, but
everywhere.
we vacuum a lot because Tira is allergic to cats. Like, favorite animal, like loves cats to death, but the most allergic to cats.
That's me.
Oh, it's so
I'm
bad.
usually
I feel so
okay
horrible.
if I'm like in a house I can't sleep at a house with cats. Like
Okay.
I do it. Like I will be like a swollen mess the next day. But
Oh
I could
man.
usually go into the house. I just can't like touch anything and then touch my
Yeah.
face. The thing. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's a
Yeah.
bummer.
It was really sad this weekend when we were out at Tyler's brother's place. They have like barn kittens, of course. And so Tira, it's her favorite animal. Like all night Friday, she was like touching the cat and she's like rubbing. She's like, "Oh, I love the kitty. I love the cats." And so we had to like come home, like give her a shower, wash her face, give her some allergy medicine. And then like Saturday, we kind of had to tell her, be like, "Hey, like you really can't touch the cat. Like I'm sorry, but like you just can't, or you're not gonna be able to breathe, dude." Like, and
Yeah.
it's just like,
Oh,
I just wish I wasn't allergic. It's like
it's so sad because you
I feel
want them
so
to
bad.
like, yeah, you want them to love on the animals, but you're like, might put you in the hospital though, so we can't do that.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I mean, what do you do? You're just gonna like you can't tell her no forever kind of thing. Like we'll
I
just
know.
deal with it when it comes kind of thing.
Yeah,
But yeah.
100%. Tough. Well, I feel like that was a good one. It was a little bit deeper, but I guess
Yeah.
to wrap it up, respect yourself, respect those around you. And if you don't, start to take a look at why.
Hmm.
Because I didn't respect myself for a long time.
Hmm.
I looked in the mirror and I just was like, I don't like who I'm looking at. And it's it's a very weird feeling and it's a very humbling feeling. And I'm still like constantly in the process of, we'll always be in the process of like evolving and growing and trying to be better. Like, don't be afraid of feedback. Don't be afraid. Don't get defensive with feedback. Consider it. You don't have to take it. You don't have to use it. But you can receive it, assuming it's given to you in a constructive, kind way. If someone's like screaming and cussing at you, fuck them. Like, don't ever tolerate that. But if someone's giving you like kind, constructive feedback, You know what I mean? Like consider it. Don't just write it off as like, oh, they're being meh, 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 meh. Like maybe not. Maybe they're just looking out for you. And be the kind of person that you want to be surrounded with. Like be the friend that you want. You know what I mean? And those people, like, I'm so grateful for the women I have in my life and all of my friends. And I don't have like a ton. Like I have a few really close friends and they're all so different, but there's all such incredibly powerful women. And every time I'm with them or talking with them, I'm better because of it. And I would hope that's how they feel too. And that's how a friendship should be. Like and I know that none of them would talk, like if I all of a sudden, started acting in a way that wasn't in accordance with the kind of person they know me to be, I would hope I know they would say something. They'd be like, dude,
Mm.
what the fuck are you doing?
Like,
Are
what's
you
up with
okay?
you?
This isn't like, what's going on? And they would
Yeah.
immediately intervene
Hmm.
and sit me down because people that love you, that want to see the best in you will do that.
Yep. I agree 100% with all of that. I don't really have anything else to add to it, I guess. Like you said it very, very well. Like it's just work on yourself first, then see who your circle is, and like surround yourself with other people too that you want to be like. Like that is also like people that are like at the goals where like you want to be too. Like ask them to be your mentor, or it doesn't even have to be like a friendship. Just like, if you want to get a certain point in life, like ask that person that like has the life that you want, be like, can I like shadow you or whatever? Can you give me some advice? Like whatever. But always just make sure you're trying to level up, because this moment you decide to just like, this is good enough, like with yourself, with your business, with your relationships, with your lifestyle, like everything, that's when you just become complacent, and that's where just things just go downhill. So,
And be open to other people's views because
mm,
your view, and when I say your view, I mean your perspective on life. It's the water you swim in, it's the air you breathe. You don't know anything else. It'd be like telling a fish to like breathe oxygen outside. And well, I guess they breathe oxygen underwater, but you know what I'm saying? Like breathe air, not water. Your view is all you know. And your view makes complete sense given your life experiences, things you've been through, the people that have influenced your life, how you were brought up as a child. All of those things have shaped what your view is. And what I'm saying is be open to other views. It's not because here's the thing. You can take your view, like put it, like pretend like it's a box. You can sit it down on the ground and be willing to take a look at something else, because if someone gives you a different perspective, if you don't like it, you can pick your view right back up again. There's no threat here. That this is like the main thing in politics. Everyone, they're really just competing over their view. And no one, you know what I mean? So it's
mhm,
like, be willing to try to take a look at other views, and you can hear them and be like, nope, that doesn't work for me. You can do that. But the minute you start just being like, nope, my perspective, the way I see it, you see it with people like in the comment sections of videos and shit. It's like they're arguing over who's right. No one wins in that scenario. No one ever fucking wins.
mm-mm,
Mainly, like if your goal is to grow as much as possible, just be open to listening to other perspectives. And also, while doing that, as you continue to grow, you will start to develop a very solid foundation in who you are and what you stand for. And you won't be just because someone you respect has a view does not mean you need to pick up their view or what they believe in or their belief system. Like stand firm on your values. If they're the core of you, those are and do not compromise yourself, meaning like you're not going to lie, you're not going to cheat, you're not going to steal, you're not going to do all these things that you deem, whatever it is you deem as your core values. You can be open to other perspectives while also maintaining those core values, and you do not have to let anyone make you compromise those things. And I won't. Like I won't. That is why, like we talked about at the beginning of this podcast, that I don't invite that energy in. I am not going to I let people disrupt my peace so long because I looked to the adults around me to tell me who I was, because
mhm.
I never formulated that for myself. And then as I got older, I realized everybody's just a human and everybody fucks up and makes mistakes. I don't need to hold these people on a pedestal, and they're wrong about some things. They're wrong about some things. And so it kind of shattered that whole illusion that these
Yep.
other people know what's best for me. The fuck you do. And that was when I was completely free as an adult human being. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I know that's like a lot of stuff to like throw out there, but I just think it's so important for people just like you have nothing to lose and just stepping back for a second and taking a
Mhm.
look and just being like, let me just consider this for a second. There's never any, and if you're ever like really die hard on something, that's a really great opportunity to be like, not like murder, that's bad, but like if there's like a disagreement and you're trying to come to some kind of resolution, take a step back and be like, let me look at their perspective. Let me just see for a second. Nope, I don't see any validity in that. Okay, great.
Mhm. I think that that's great. Like that's yeah. If you guys found anything useful in this or like want to have a conversation, like use the comment section. Like you can comment on the YouTube, you can comment on the Spotify. We would really welcome that. And maybe we'll do like an open Q&A or something like that for the next one and just talk about questions or something regarding, what we've done so far with the podcast. Because we're on, I think this is episode 18 now.
Woo. We'll have to do
We're
an
getting up
open
there.
for Instagram because I have like I have like no followers because I don't care. Is that bad? And I'm not here. Okay. Cause I hear people are like, I don't give a fuck about social media. It's like a soapbox they stand on, like not caring. I shouldn't say I don't care. It's just not something I'm actively pursuing is like growing my following. Cause I'm sure I could, if I did that and I did hashtags and all the things, like I would do what everybody else does, which is great. Cause I just don't run my business online like that. So you will probably get a lot more activity is what I'm saying. If I do it
Yeah,
on
no, I'll share it on mine and then I'll just tag you guys in it and whatnot. Because
yes.
I do coaching full time, and as much as I hate social media, I post to it all the time because that's how it goes, There's things about your job that you don't like. I don't really care for social media. My like personal social media, I barely post on. So if it were up to me, that's what I would do. But just is what it
I,
is.
you know what's okay, unpopular opinion. I like social media. There's things about it I don't like for sure. There's things about
Yeah.
everything I don't like, but there's so many things about it, like the way it's connected me to bodybuilding and all these other competitors.
Oh, yeah.
I love so many things about social media. The reason I have no following is because I'm really bad at it and I have not prioritized learning how to utilize it. And I've just not prioritized it at all. But I think it's like there's things about it that are like, meh, especially if I had to do it for a business, I could see that being like becoming a really uncomfortable or not uncomfortable, but like a not so great way to participate in social media. Whereas for me, it's just recreationally. Like I'm not
Mhm.
using it in that as a tool like you are. But like
Yep.
my other business I work for, we use social media as a tool all the time. I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not in the marketing department, so not me. It's just not a skill set I have, to be honest. Like I just don't know like the right way to post and how to edit and put things together and make it all cute. Like you're lucky if I can get a song on a reel. Like you know what I mean? I've not invested the time. Um,
Hmm.
I would love to. It's just where my life is at right now. It's just not something I'm able to prioritize. And I keep saying I
Yeah.
will, but I don't know. I may not. Who knows? But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think it's great. I just haven't prioritized it. Meh.
No, and that's a good way to put it is like, and I should say, like, I don't hate it. I hate figuring out the algorithm
Oh, I
bullshit.
get why you hate it. Yeah,
That's what I don't like. Like,
I
I
get
love
it.
talking about my clients. I love educating. I love all of that stuff. It's the like, how do I put what's in my brain on like this little funny real TikTok thing that
Hard.
I'm supposed to like dance for? And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking dance. Like, no, that's not my personality.
Yeah.
So I just, and there was a time when I was in like a business mentorship where I hated it because I was like, I have to post this way and I have to do this and blah, blah. And like, it doesn't feel authentic. And now I've gotten around to a much better like cadence, I guess you could say. And I still don't post every day. I try to, but I don't make it all the time. And I'm not so hard on myself anymore either if I don't get a post up every single day. But
Yeah.
I once a week I try to share something about a client. Like that's easy enough. I try to share some sort of educational tip and I try to share some sort of like question that I get as a coach. So like just people, some things that are useful for people to connect and whatnot. But and then I try to share something personal about like my own bodybuilding stuff. Like that's usually what I try to do. And
I
that's
think your
easy
social
enough for
media is
me.
great. I like the way you run your social media. I think
Thank
now
you.
what you were doing a couple years ago, not, and I even told you, I was like, dude, I don't like these. I don't, I don't know if these posts are you, but like, what you're doing now, I think is totally authentic to you. And I could totally see how when it becomes something you have to do to promote your business, how that could become something you really dislike. Like I could totally, that's why I'm saying like I'm speaking from a place of I don't have to utilize it. Um, and so I don't have that stress point
It's like
involved.
a pressure.
If I did,
Yeah.
I would probably hate it because I'm not naturally very good at it or I have not spent the time to have a deep understanding of like how to utilize it as a tool.
Hmm.
So it'd just be very challenging and uncomfortable. And I would probably spend 6 hours trying to write one stupid post that 80 people would look at, you know what I mean? And then,
Oh, dude, I've been there.
yeah,
Make a
so no,
huge like good like video and stuff all edited, and then you get like 100 views, and you're like, what the like?
I
And then you
know.
post something stupid, and it gets 300,000 on TikTok. That makes no sense. Like literally, I posted this one thing about like it was just a funny video of like Tyler pulling me backwards off the like rear delt machine, 350K views, and I'm just like, I don't know what I did, but like, okay, like I guess it was
It's just
funny.
funny. Yeah, it's just funny. It's just cute. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I think videos like that, you're just like, what's going on there? Like, what's
yeah.
happening? You just want to know. And that I think those videos are so great because that to me, it's like you guys, your relationship is so fun. Like you guys have a lot of fun together. You're always laughing and fucking around with each other. So
Oh, we
that's
pay each other so much.
yeah, like that's so authentic to you. But I could also see how like, but then you're like curating that content because you have a camera set up and it's kind of, yeah. So girl, I would be feeling the exact same way about it as you are. I totally understand. I'm speaking from a place of like, I just scroll for fun. You know what I mean?
Yep. But it gets better. You just have to figure it out. And I also am not one of those, well, none of us are any of those coaches that are just like, try my 30-day booty builder program for $89 and just cycles through people. Like we don't do that. Like we do legitimate one-to-one coaching. So there's a lot more that goes into that. And there's no challenges. There's no weird bullshit stuff. Like it's just, this is the program.
I'm just not, if there's a way to, I'm just not skilled in that arena of short term, like,
No.
results. Like, I'm just like, I just tell them like, dude, you gotta like eat the food and train really fucking hard and sleep good. And like, I don't know what else to like, and do it for like years. That's what it, and I think maybe because I don't make it all shiny and fun and sexy, I'm just like, no,
Yeah. I
this is
don't know.
really what you do. And then you'll get those clients. Like I've even had clients that have killer results in the first 8 weeks. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like you just give them the right training program and you feed them properly. And it's like, holy shit. And that does happen. But then you
Hmm.
have the people like me, where after your first year of training, I looked exactly the same because I was still learning what intensity was. I was still learning how to, even just engage certain muscles because I didn't even have them. So it was
Yep.
like, it took me so long. So it's just like you have those people, and that's why it's like you post those people that get the results really fast to like bring people in. But then I feel like, but that's an unrealistic,
That's the whole thing is it's
yeah,
unrealistic. Like
it
you
can't
post your
happen.
unicorns and it's like so and so results after 30
Yeah.
days and it's like amazing. It's like this isn't typical though. Like typically I get people and we work on gut and hormone stuff and then like they're the same weight the whole way for 6 months when we're working together. We're working internally. And
Yeah.
even them, they're like, why aren't I changing weight? And it's like, we're not worried about your weight right now. Like,
Well,
it's
that's
not the
what's
point.
so alluring about challenges for coaches is you can diet someone really hard for 8 to 12
Yep.
weeks and get like some fat loss off of them, post the transformation, and then like, holy shit, this coach, like, look what they did with this person.
Hmm.
But I guarantee you, like 80% of those clients in that transformation are having a really hard time on the back end because if the coach's intention is to get transformations to bring in more clients, they wouldn't be doing transformations in the first, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, if you're, or sorry, let me say that again. If the coach's intention is to post pictures to bring in more clients because you're able to garner some results with a very strict diet training regimen for 8 to 12 weeks, that's what your skill set is then. Because actual long-term sustainable results are not sexy. It's not fast. Again, there's unicorns that have some quick progress. That's great.
Mhm.
But for most people, that's just not the case. But that's not going to catch eyes on social media. And I think that's why I've kind of steered away, because I'm like, yeah, but that's just like, I do consults and I'm like, I'm not going to, and I've lost clients. Like, they start working with me and they're like, I haven't seen the scale drop in 4 to 5 weeks. And I'm like, we had a full conversation about this. If that's what you're expecting, I fully encourage you to go find somebody else. I'm
Mhm.
not doing that. Like, it's just, it's not, that would be me going against my values.
Yep.
You came to me in a place where you're not ready to diet. Like, you've been dieting for 10 years, literally, like
Yeah.
doing that.
It's not going to go away in 3 months that you're just going to get to diet again. Like you need a whole year of like resetting your whole metabolism, if not longer,
I
you know?
know. And people don't want to hear that. And I'm like, but then I also realized, like, I like to weed that out, because those clients, they're tough, man. Like, because
They're the headaches.
they're always upset. They're always negative. We talked about this last week. They're always
Yep.
negative. I'm like,
Yep.
not fun for me. Like, I do this because it's fun and I love it. And I'm not saying a client can't have like an off few weeks or going
Yeah.
through something. That's not what I mean at all. It's just like, if it's for months on end, like, if they're not, the scale's not dropping, they're miserable. I'm like, I can't, no, this isn't, because that's
Mhm.
like a mental thing that needs to be worked through with either some therapy or some time. And I can work them through that body dysmorphia stuff if they're open to it, but a lot of them are not
Yeah.
open to it. They're only
Yep.
open to getting those quick results and nothing else will suffice.
They just want to see the scale drop and that's all they're focused on. And it's
Yeah.
just it's so disappointing because you're like you can see their differences. Like they'll even say like I have more energy today. I slept better last night. And you're like you're having wins. Like this is coming together, but like they're just like, "Oh, my clothes don't fit. Oh, I'm just feel so fat all the time. I just want to lose weight and be happy." And it's like, "Okay, what if I just gave you your weight loss? What are you going to do with it then? Like, I was going to solve all your problems? Like, you're just going to be happy all the time? How do you maintain that?"
Stop. Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
like they don't know how. Like, they're just like, "Well, I don't
Because
know."
that's not the problem, but they don't like, and I get not wanting to hear that. Like, for someone to tell you, like, hey, dude, you've got to do some internal work here, and we can do it together. Like, I don't necessarily think you always need a therapist. Like, I think it
No.
can be with somebody that knows what they're doing. But like, the work we need to do is internal, and then we can do some of this external work, versus a coach like, oh yeah, I'll get you in shape in 12 weeks. Like, hell yeah, they're gonna, and I get that instant gratification side of our brain, like,
Shiny object syndrome.
but it's like you're gonna be right back to where you were. And another, like, I've developed a program that has a lot of flex to it, but is for this kind of client in particular, where it's for people that just want to have a really good relationship with their bodies and food in general. They're not looking like, yes, they would like to have achieve some physique related goals, but I tell them, like, it could be a year before we start working to that. And I can get you there if you follow what I'm telling you and you're really open. And I've put a few people through it, and it is incredible when people are able to do it. And usually I say, like, you have to be ready. Like, you have to be ready to not lose a pound or maybe even gain some weight for I
Yep.
don't know how long, because that's not what this is about. Like, you're not going to feel better if I pull 10 pounds off of you. I promise you, because you've been dealing with this your whole life. It's not going to end because you dropped 10 pounds. That's not your problem.
Mhm.
So we need to get to the root of it. And I don't know what the root of it is yet. You and I are going to work together on it. And it's going to be uncomfortable. And it's been very rewarding. I'm actually really loving it. It's kind of like teaching people how to eat, teaching them to learn what their bodies, like, hunger cues, satiety cues, like getting in touch with that, removing that restrictive mindset. This is for not bodybuilders. This is for people that just want to, like, move through life and have a good relationship with food and training in their bodies.
Mhm.
Anyway, sorry, this is turning into, like, I guess that's what podcast is for, but
No,
there's,
I even So I took that and I kind of reworked it into like my own thing, of course, and obviously copy yours. But I took that and used it for someone that I've had, and it's worked really well for her. Like she's wants to bodybuild, but like she's got to fix some things like relationship wise with food first, and like we got to pull some weight off to begin with. But she's just been like on a strict meal plan and like on the strict for the last like 2.5 years. And she was like so nervous, like when she would go out to eat, she'd just go like all out. And I'm like, we can't have this all or nothing mindset. And then as soon as I gave her some flexibility, I'm like, you can have these things. It's fine. Now she eats just her meals. She doesn't really want to have free meals out, but if she did, I told her, I'm like, you can have a meal out. It's okay. And she's like dropping weight, but like eating the same amounts as she was supposed to before. So it's working well. So it does help a lot. It just brings about that whole like food mindset thing that's just different.
Yeah, and it's achieving food freedom and it's also achieving body freedom. And that's why I tell people like, there's nothing wrong with having physique goals as long as they're, nothing that's extreme or unhealthy, like, nothing that's out of alignment with like something that's sustainable. Um, if you want to lose some weight and grow some muscle and see what and do like a fun diet phase, like I am all for that if you are ready for that mentally and
Mhm.
it's coming from a place of I love my body and I want to challenge myself, not I hate how I look. So I'm
Yep.
going to go and starve and do all this cardio and do
I'm gonna
like
punish myself.
I'm going to punish myself because I hate my body. Like
Yep.
doing anything from that perspective. Cause like I even had a girl check in, not a girl, a woman check in, and she was like pointing out all of like the areas she's holding body fat. And she's in her 50s and looks fucking incredible. And I'm like, just we're not going to move forward with any of this if you're doing this out of hatred for your body. And I'm not saying like, I'm just saying this is not what we're doing. You can say, hey, there are things I'm not comfortable with right now about my physique. And there's things I want to challenge myself with and goals I have. Totally fine. But you can do that while also at the same time being like having respect for your body and some appreciation for her and what she's carried you through in your life.
Mhm.
And doing it because you want to be good to her. Like, I want to do this because it's what I deserve. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be hard, but it's something I want for myself, not I hate how I look. So I'm going to, you know what I mean? That's just not,
Yep.
and that's what
Mhm.
a lot of coaches aren't addressing. It's like,
Yep.
and I just don't think you need to sit down with an expensive therapist to have someone tell you, like, you can want to achieve goals with your body without hating it.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Mhm. That makes me think of I have a mom and she works in corporate and she's like very high up. She has like a whole team and everything. She's a badass. And she has
Yeah.
4 kids and she's like, I just really want to get in better shape. Like I just want to feel better and stuff. And like we've been together for over a year now and like we've done that. Like we had to fix a few things. Like she had a lot of cortisol and stuff going on. A little bit of gut. Not nothing terrible though. So we worked on that, and then we've just recomped her body since then, and like she just took like 2 weeks. She just didn't check in because she was like, I'm just super, super busy. I'm traveling, all these things. She messaged me a couple times, just like, here's what I'm doing right now. I'm just like eating intuitively. And I'm like, great job. Like, that's all we need to do. And then she messaged me, she's like, I'm ready to check in this week. I'm ready to get back on track, get going. Here's where I'm at. She's like, I would really love
Yeah.
to just maintain like a little bit lower. We've dropped like 30 pounds since we started. And it just has been a very slow process, but we're kind of pulling down and then pushing up and then working with her travel schedule and like what to do when she travels and stuff. And she has such a better mindset about it. And like on weekends, she doesn't feel like she has to drink alcohol just because everybody else is. Like she can truly pick if she wants to and doesn't just have to because this socially, that's what everyone's doing, you know?
That's incredible. That's food freedom.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that we're trying to achieve. And a lot of our clients, like I know for you too, like they work with us for a year or more. Like I've had a couple clients going on 3 years now. Like it's freaking awesome.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And it's so rewarding, like to see somebody to be able to just like live their life and enjoy moments and food but still be able to be proud and accomplish goals. Like it's seriously
Mhm.
the most incredible thing.
I agree. But
Not to be
okay,
abrupt, but I realized what time it was. I do have to hop off.
that's fine. I was just gonna say we should stop now.
I know we could keep
We went
going
on
forever.
a tangent.
Hopefully people didn't find this, we tried to log off like twice already. Hopefully people didn't find this overly rambly, but I love you so, so much. I will see you in less than 2 weeks, like a week and a couple days.
Yep. I'm so excited.
Oh, like 9 days, 9 days.
Can't wait.
I
Can't
love you
wait.
so much and I will talk to you later.
Okay, I love you too. Tell Dan I said hi.
I will.
Bye.
Bye.